Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about how to sideboard with Neoform in Pioneer. We're going to talk about the top 10 most popular decks and how to sideboard against those top 10 most popular decks. Hopefully you can use the knowledge that you've gained from learning how to sideboard against those top 10 most popular decks to sideboard against other decks. Let's do it. The most popular deck in Pioneer is red-black mid-range. I think everybody knows that. However, you're going to sideboard against red-black sack the same way. So this is the first and fifth most popular decks in Pioneer. Red-black sack is the fifth most popular deck. Red-black mid-range is the first most popular deck. And you're going to sideboard against both of those decks in the same way. You're going to be bringing in your two abrupt decays, for different reasons. Like, you need to deal with these permanents against red-black sack, dealing with like Witch's Oven and Mayhem Devil and things like that. And abrupt decay dealing with Fable shenanigans and like Blood Tithe Harvester and kind of stopping their aggro. And we're going to be bringing in a Terra Sunder. Terra Sunder being cheap removal for these, things like Fable of Mirror Breaker, things like Witch's Oven against red-black sack, but also it's just unconditional removal for maybe Shieldred or whatever. We're going to be bringing out Consider. Consider is our flex slot, so we're going to be bringing it out quite a bit. And we're going to be bringing out two Thoughtseizes. There's not a lot of cards we're really afraid of out of red-black mid-range, and so we're often looking to grind and try to outvalue them with the Atraxas and stuff, and the Thoughtseizes are just kind of bad cards in the late game. Similar reason with red-black sack. We're just kind of looking to grind with them and kind of stop what's going on, and casting a Thoughtseize to deal with just like, at best a Mayhem Devil is just kind of not worth it most of the time. So this is how you sideboard against red-black mid-range and red-black sack. The second most popular deck in Pioneer is Mono Green. Against Mono Green, we're bringing in Pithing Needle for their Planeswalkers. Aether Gust because green spells. It's just unconditional counter magic, kind of. We're bringing in Duress for things like Storm of the Festival and their Planeswalkers and like Wolfhole Haven and stuff like that. We're bringing out our flex slot in Consider. We're going to be bringing out Strategic Planning. So the reason we're bringing out these cards is it's really important that we stop what our opponent is doing more than we do what we want to do. What we want to do is really important, sure, but bringing in these cards to kind of stop our opponent is they're a much more powerful deck. So we need to make sure that we are able to interrupt what they're doing and not like tapping out for strategic planning and then them like getting way ahead. It's just not a great card in that sense. And similarly, we're going to bring out an Otherworldly Gaze. Otherworldly Gaze doesn't really allow us to do what we need to do in the matchup because it's something that doesn't commit to the board and doesn't really do anything in the board. And we're going to find that we bring out Otherworldly Gaze in a lot of matchups that you don't have time to not contribute to the board or anything. And Mono Green is definitely one of those matchups. We also just don't have time to tap out for anything with like strategic planning. So this is how I sideboard against Mono Green. The third most popular deck in Pioneer is Mono White Humans. Obviously, we're going to be bringing in 3 Ray of Enfeeblements, and 2 Abrupt Decay just has additional removal. We're going to be bringing out our Flex slot in Consider and bringing out 3 Stubborn Denials, and then we're going to shave a Strategic Planning. The reason we are shaving a Strategic Planning is, again, just similar reasons, just like we don't really have time in the early game to not kill a creature and not contribute to the board. So shaving the Strategic Planning is totally fine. So size sideboard against humans. The fourth most popular deck in Pioneer is Blue-White Control. Against Blue-White Control, we're obviously bringing in Duresses because we can hit it's just Thoughtseize against them. Mystical Dispute to be able to win Counter Wars. Pithing Needle for Planeswalkers to kind of slow them down. And Terra Sunder for unconditional removal for the Planeswalkers is really powerful. And unconditional removal in case they're like on the Angel plan or something like that is also super duper strong. We're going to be bringing out Fatal Push, just kills nothing in our opponent's deck. Then let's throw on the Brimaz plan, kinda. We're bringing out a Neoform, often because like Neoform is really bad against counter magic. It's an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. So if we cast Neoform, sack our Tasigur, and then they counter Neoform, Tasigur's gone and our Neoform's gone. And so like shaving on Neoform is really fine against these counterspell decks because it's really scary to cast them. We need to make sure it resolves. And we're going to shave in 2 Otherworldly Gaze. Otherworldly Gaze is mostly to kind of turbo out, these delving things, and we have time against control. So it's nice sideboard against control. The fifth most popular deck we've already talked about, which is Red-Black Sack. So we're going to move on to the sixth most popular deck, which is Abzan Greasefang. Against Greasefang, we're bringing in Ray of Enfeeblement so we can interrupt the Greasefang combo. Bring in an Abrupt Gaze so we can interrupt the Grease Fang combo, and Tear Asunder is a different way to interrupt, but we can like take out the vehicle, take out the Parhelion before it attacks or whatever. We're going to be bringing out Fatal Push because we have no good way to trigger Revolt, so it doesn't actually interrupt the combo as well as other decks. We're going to bring out our Flex slot and Consider, and then we're bringing out an Otherworldly Gaze. We just need to contribute to the board and kill them as fast as possible while we're interrupting their combo. Otherworldly Gaze doesn't really do that super well, so that's how I sideboard against Grease Fang. The 7th most popular deck is the Lotus Field deck. Against Lotus Field, we're bringing in Aether Gust because we can interrupt their combo with the Ultimatum card, Emergent Ultimatum, with like Aether Gust and stuff. Also, being able to take out like a Sylvan's Grind is kind of cool. Bringing in a Mystical Dispute for similar reasons. Also, great against like Pour Through the Pages and things like that. Duress hits just every card in their deck for the most part. Bringing in a Pithy Needle for naming Thespian Stage so we can slow down their mana. We're bringing out Fatal Pushes because it doesn't hit anything in their deck to speak of. Bringing out a Neoform because really like we're just kind of trying to beat them down with Delvers. The combo matters a lot less against this deck. And then for similar reasons, we're bringing out 3 Otherworldly Gaze. We don't need to turbo. We just need every card to really, really matter against this deck. So that's how we sideboard against Lotus Field. The 8th most popular deck in Pioneer's Blue-White Spirits. Against Blue-White Spirits, we are bringing in a whole bunch of removal. We're bringing in Abrupt Decays. We're bringing in Rave Enfeeblements because it can kill a lot of the X1s and kill Spellqueller, which we take. We're bringing in 2 Mystical Disputes. It just counters just like every card in their deck. We're bringing out Stubborn Denials. Yes, they have counter magic, but I would rather control the board with what is going on. And it's like really specific counter magic, and often you don't want to be caught with Stubborn Denial in your hand and not being able to like do anything to the board. We're really, really afraid of that. We're bringing out a single Hooting Mandrills. We need to kind of make sure that, you know, we have our removal and we stop what our opponents are doing and things like that. It isn't really about beating down with Delvers or trying to make sure the combo happens 100% of the time or whatever. So shaving a Hooting Mandrills is fine. And then we are shaving 3 Otherworldly Gaze just because we need things that contribute to the board pretty much every single turn. So that's how I sideboard against Blue-White Spirits. The 9th most popular deck in Pioneer is 5-color Fires. Against Fires, we're bringing in Aether Gust. It deals with the enchantments that we care about. Bringing in Mystical Dispute, deals with one of the 2 enchantments that we care about, but also can counter other things in their deck like Omnath or whatever. Duress, it hits most of the cards that we care about. And Tear Asunder, we can deal with the big 4-mana enchantments even after they're on the battlefield. Bringing out Fatal Push doesn't really kill anything we care about in the deck. Bringing out the Consider, it's the Flex slot. We're bringing out 2 Founding of the Third Path. We don't really have time to kind of sit still with the deck to speak of. You know, we really want to play it like instant speed and whatever for the Mystical Disputes and Aether Gusts and stuff. And then we're bringing out 1 Otherworldly Gaze. Just kind of shaving around these enablers and whatnot. So this I sideboard against 5-color Fires. And then the 10th most popular deck is Creativity. We're bringing in Duresses against Creativity. Obviously, to try to interrupt their combo and interrupt what they're doing. We're bringing in 2 Mystical Disputes because they often protect, you know, with counter magic, or they, you know, they have blue spells that kind of set up what they're doing. We're bringing out Fatal Push. Often they Creativity onto like treasure tokens and stuff like that. So Fatal Push doesn't really interrupt anything. And even if it did interrupt, like we want to fight Creativity on the stack and with hand destruction, not necessarily have to leave up removal every single turn. And then we're bringing out a single Consider because it's the Flex slot. So it's sideboard against Creativity. So there you go. Had a sideboard with Neoform in Pioneer. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on the social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.